Have you ever stopped mid-grocery run, looked down at your shopping cart and wondered, why is this thing full of holes? I mean, it's literally designed to carry stuff, so why not make it solid? Wouldn't that be stronger, cleaner, and more practical? Well, as it turns out, those holes aren't just a random design choice. They're actually the result of decades of engineering, practicality, and a few clever solutions to problems you probably didn't even realize existed. Today, we're diving into something you've used hundreds, maybe thousands of times, but never really questioned: why shopping carts have holes. Right here on History of Simple Things. To understand the holes, we first need to go back to when shopping carts didn't even exist. In the early 1930s, grocery shopping looked very different. Customers would carry baskets by hand, which limited how much they could buy. That changed in 1937 when Sylvan Goldman, an American supermarket owner, introduced the first shopping cart. His design was simple: a folding metal frame that held two wire baskets. At first, people didn't love the idea. Men thought it looked too much like pushing a baby stroller, while women felt it reminded them of household chores. But once supermarkets realized carts encouraged customers to buy more, they quickly became a staple. By the 1940s and 50s, carts evolved into the single large basket design we recognize today. And that's where the wireframe hole-filled structure became standard. One of the biggest reasons shopping carts have holes is surprisingly simple: weight. A solid metal cart would be significantly heavier, making it harder to push, especially when fully loaded with groceries. By using a wireframe design, manufacturers reduce the amount of material needed while still maintaining strength. Less metal means less weight, and that translates to a smoother, easier shopping experience. It also helps store employees who have to gather and organize dozens of carts throughout the day. If carts were solid, every trip to the store would feel like pushing a small tank around. Not exactly convenient. Here's where things get a bit counterintuitive. Those holes actually help make the cart strong. The wire grid structure distributes weight evenly across the frame, allowing it to handle heavy loads without bending or breaking. Think of it like a bridge or a tower. Engineers often use open frameworks instead of solid materials because they provide strength without unnecessary bulk. The same principle applies here. The grid design reinforces the cart while keeping it lightweight. So instead of weakening the cart, the holes are part of what makes it durable. Now imagine this. Someone spills milk juice or worse, raw meat juices, inside a shopping cart. If that cart had a solid base, the liquid would just sit there pooling and becoming a hygiene nightmare. The holes solve this problem instantly. Liquids drain through instead of collecting, making carts much easier to clean and far less likely to harbor bacteria or unpleasant odors. It's one of those invisible design choices that keeps things more sanitary without shoppers even noticing. Most shopping carts don't live indoors. They're often stored outside, exposed to rain, heat, and sometimes even flooding. If carts were solid, rainwater would collect inside, turning each one into a mini bathtub. Thanks to the holes, water simply drains away. This prevents rust, reduces maintenance, and keeps carts usable even after heavy rain. It also means you're less likely to grab a cart filled with yesterday's storm. It's a small feature that makes a big difference in real-world conditions. Here's something you might not have considered: store security. The open design of shopping carts makes it easy for employees to see what's inside from a distance. This helps reduce theft and ensures items aren't hidden under or behind other products. At the same time, it allows shoppers to quickly check their own carts. Ever worried you forgot something at the bottom? With a wireframe, you can spot it instantly without digging around. It's not just about convenience, it's also about accountability. From a manufacturing standpoint, holes make shopping carts cheaper to produce. Using less material lowers costs, and the wireframe design is easier to mass-produce using bending and welding techniques. Supermarkets need hundreds, sometimes thousands of carts. Even small savings per unit add up quickly. The current design strikes a balance between durability, functionality, and affordability. If carts were solid, not only would they cost more to make, but they'd also be more expensive to repair and replace. Here's a detail that's easy to miss but surprisingly important: airflow and noise. A solid cart moving through the air, especially when pushed quickly or in long rows, would create more resistance and even a kind of drag effect. The open hole-filled design allows air to pass through freely, making carts easier to push and control, particularly when employees are moving multiple carts at once. It also helps reduce noise. Solid surfaces tend to amplify rattling and vibrations, especially when rolling over uneven pavement. The wireframe structure breaks up those vibrations, making the cart slightly quieter and less jarring to handle. It's not completely silent. Shopping carts will always have that signature clatter. But without the holes, they'd likely be much louder and more awkward to maneuver. So why do shopping carts have holes? It turns out it's not just one reason, it's a combination of many. The holes reduce weight, improve strength, allow for easy cleaning, handle outdoor conditions, enhance visibility, lower costs, and even contribute to safety. What looks like a basic design is actually the result of decades of refinement, balancing practicality with efficiency. The next time you grab a shopping cart, take a second to appreciate it. It's not just a metal basket on wheels, it's a carefully engineered tool designed to make your shopping experience easier in ways you probably never noticed. And honestly, that's what makes everyday objects so fascinating. The simplest things often have the smartest designs hiding in plain sight. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.